Hi everyone, today I'm here with Sheila and I'm going to be showing you a super fun, easy way to take your makeup look from day to night by just changing two things. Alright, so Sheila has already moisturized her skin, which is always the first step you want to do before applying any makeup. And now we're going to go in and do a little bit of color correction. Her skin already looks very lovely, but we're just going to go in and touch up a little bit of redness by using a green color corrector to neutralize the redness. And don't worry about it looking funny when you put it on, because when you put on concealer and foundation later, it is going to blend in. So I'm just going in on the spots where most of us have redness, like the chin, a little bit around the eyes and the nose. Not going overboard, and then I'm going to come back in with a damp beauty blender and just buff it out a touch. Okay, so now we're going to go in with a little bit of concealer and foundation to just even out the complexion. And I'll be using a lighter shade for Sheila's under eye area, and then a little bit of a warmer shade for the rest of the face. And a trick that I like to use is using a little bit of a warmer shade on the entire face to kind of bring some liveness and radiance, even if you do have cooler undertones. And don't be afraid to bring the concealer a little bit further down than the eye area and even into the nose where some of the shadowing might happen sometimes. And after you apply the concealer, you want to use something like a damp beauty blender or something else that's very delicate so it doesn't tug on the eye area to blend the concealer out, downward and out. And this helps just lighten any shadows or kind of bring a more bright look to the entire face. And I'm going to actually take a little bit of this concealer on the eyelid as well, just to also conceal any redness on the eyelid. So that is it for the under eye concealer. All right, so now I'm gonna go in and apply the foundation on the rest of Sheila's face. And again, I'm using a little bit of a warmer tone to kind of bring in that liveness and radiance to the complexion. So a trick I sometimes like to use is if your foundation is kind of more full coverage or heavier, is to blend it with a little bit of moisturizer before you apply it to your face, to give it a little bit of a dewier and more wet look quality, so it has more of a healthy glow and a sheen to it. So you want your skin to shine through, you don't want your foundation to completely cover it up and make your skin look artificial. So now I'm just blending out the foundation I applied. And if you can see, the skin is shining through underneath really nicely, but we have concealed any redness or blemishes, so it looks very, very natural and healthy. Now that we have the foundation blended, I'm going to go in with a little bit of blush on the apples of the cheeks, and I'm going to blend it upward and out to give the face a nice lift. You don't want to blend it down or put too much blush or color anywhere closer to the bottom of the cheek. And something I like to do is actually put a little bit of blush on the bridge of the nose as well, because that's where the sun naturally hits you, and this just makes everything look really healthy, glowy. And now I'm going to go in with a little bit of a contour under Sheila's cheekbones to give her some definition and even more lift to the face. And for this, I'm using a cooler toned shade. And this is also in the cream, because we've been using a lot of creams to maintain that really dewy, youthful quality to the skin. So I'm just applying this kind of in a line that I will later blend out from the temple to the bottom of the lip And as you can see, even without it being blended, it's already giving that really nice lift and definition to the cheekbone. And a little bit goes a long way. You don't need to get crazy with this, but just something like this, and then I will blend up. And then I'm going to go in with my Beauty Blender and soften any lines and blend this a little bit more with the blush. I'll also bring in a little bit of contour on the jawline here for some more definition. And this is not something that you have to be doing every day, but if you just want to give it a little extra oomph, it's a really fun way. And then just do the same on the other side. And so even if your cheeks are not defined, don't worry, this is pretty foolproof. If you just go from the temple to the corner of the mouth in a line and then blend up, there's really no way you can mess up. Now I'm just going to go in with a little bit of translucent powder to set the under eye concealer, just so we don't have any movement throughout the day and no creasing. And I'll also just touch up with a teeny tiny bit of powder around the T-zone, where most people tend to get a little bit oily throughout the day. But I'm not going to set the entire face because you still want that really nice dewy look. So just the areas where a tiny bit of powder might be needed throughout the day. Now I'm going to shape and fill in the brows. And I'm doing this prior to eyeshadow just so I have more of a defined area where I'm working in case I need to bring the eyeshadow out. And the easiest way to fill in your brows is just follow your natural shape and bring out the tail just past this line here. So if you were to go from the very edge of your eye, and if you were to have a diagonal line go all the way up, that's where you want the tail to stop. So see, this is just a very natural brow, nothing crazy, no 3-step technique. Just fill it in with the natural shape and stop at the tail. All right, so next we have eyeshadow, and Sheila has really pretty blue eyes, so I want to use a little bit of brown and copper tones to kind of make them pop. So for the daytime look, I'm going to go in with matte eyeshadow, and then when we transition to night, one of the tips I like to use to really elevate your look is to just apply a little bit of shimmer right in the middle of your eyelid, and you'll see how that immediately transforms your eyeshadow look from day to night with something as simple as a simple dab of eyeshadow. So now I'm going to use a brown eyeliner just to fill in the lash line, nothing too much, since this is still a daytime look. I'm not going to do any wing or anything. And don't worry about it being super neat right now, because a thing I actually like to do is to go in with a tiny brush and push it into the lash line to make it look even more natural and undetectable. And it kind of smudges it out a little bit and forgives any mistakes you might have made. So this is a really easy, no stress eyeliner. And of course, mascara. We're just finishing up on the mascara here, and I used the City Beauty Beyond Mascara on Sheila, and it's a really wonderful formula. It's actually conditioning and it enhances lash growth. So if you're going to use mascara, you might as well use something that's good for your lashes, right? And I will not be putting mascara on the bottom lash line because we don't want anything dragging the eye down. So instead, I'm going to just go in with a tiny bit of that same brown eyeliner and about quarter to half, about 3/4 of the eye. I'm not bringing it all the way in because you still want to keep the eye nice and open. And then go in with your brush and just blend it out a little bit so it's very natural and soft. I'm going to use City Lips Matte, and I really like this formula for daytime wear because it's very long lasting and yet it does not dry out your lips like other matte lipsticks might. And it's a really lovely color with a cool undertone that matches Sheila's natural color quite well. So it's a great choice for a daytime look. So I promised you guys a super easy transition into a nighttime look from this makeup that we used for daytime. And in order to achieve that, we'll just use a beautiful copper bronze shimmer shade on the center of the lid, as well as a really beautiful deep berry lip color for some drama. So I'm just placing a little bit of this shimmery gold only in the center of her lid so that when she turns and the light catches her eye, it's going to glisten. I'm not going overboard with shimmer because, you know, you still want to keep it elegant. All right, so you can see how that simple addition of a shimmer shadow completely transforms her eye makeup look. And when we add the deep berry city lips, it's going to be just completely amazing. And there you go. You can see how easy it is to go from day to night by just adding a little shimmer to the eye and a bold lip. By the way, I used Mulberry by City Lips. It's a really pretty, cool-toned, deep berry shade, and it's actually on sale right now. So if you guys want to pick this up for your holiday parties ahead, now's a great time to do it.